We are Haircolor Confessional here at the old Hoe Winery, and it's H-O-E. This fire's burning my butt.
Right? We're in Keller, Texas, and we've got some friends that have about 5 acres of land, and they have grown grapes.
Yeah.
So with growing grapes, you make wine.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So today we came out and helped them prune, and they're feeding us and giving us free wine. So we're so excited to be here. And
I know. Oh my God.
So we had to move because literally the fire was burning our butts.
I know. It was so freaking hot. Okay, so it's really cold out here because it is February.
Yeah.
But we've had such a great experience with Mark and Pam just giving us the tour and teaching us how to make wreaths and how to prune their grapes. So it's kind of
how to make wine and all that. So you guys are going to hear all about that on this little video, but we are hoping to get them on the podcast. So maybe we'll see if they'll come on the podcast. But
I know. So anyway, we're super excited.
Enjoy our little adventure today. And
cheers. Cheers.
To the old Hoe. H-O-E. What we're doing is we're taking a little bit below the middle down, leaving a little bit up here because there might be another freeze. And this is my first time doing it, so trying to be careful not to cut the wire. This is Ronnie.
Yeah.
They're making a...
I have the microphone on so you can talk.
Oh. They're making grapevine wreaths over there. It's pretty cool.
And then you decorate it. Like you can put flowers on it or...
Didn't bring it in, huh?
This smells so good.
Perfect job, right here. Keep the fire going.
Oh my gosh, you're making one. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. You're gonna help us. We want to make one too.
This is our first time, so we're just takes two.
Right? I know.
And we're making a big
Pam
one.
makes them look so easy.
I know.
She can help us.
Go straight on the fire.
There you go.
Is it cold?
Yes. does them so easy.
I'm saying. Yeah, you start like that.
And
then just
keep
keep
twisting.
going. Yeah, just keep.
And then
it
just-
looks, you think, oh, it looks like crap, but as the more you do, it will start looking a lot
I
better.
know. It's like you have. I've seen you do them before, and you're like really fast at them.
Do you just twist it around?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just keep weaving it in and out. Yeah, there you go. Stick it in and out. What's wrong? Oh, let's go over here.
Oh, look.
Ah! What you want to do is find a big, so you can do that. So now what you're going to want to do is go find one.
Oh, they have big ones over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Kind of feels like it's old, but we'll try it. Yeah. I'm getting them.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Psalmwood, which is, let's understand the region, and we picked chili. So I'm going to show you how this is done, and then we're going to start drinking and eating. But so I want to give a little overview of chili first. Number one, y'all do know it's South America, right? And it's a very long country. Well, the top of it is the Atacama Desert. Atacama Desert. And it's the driest place on earth.
Oh, wow.
You can't grow grapes here. The bottom is Patagonia, and it's actually almost in the Arctic Circle. So it's too cold. So all the grapes in Chile are grown in the middle part of the country, okay? But here's the other unique thing about Chile is, now let's turn it on its side, it's got 3 valley areas. It's got one that's coastal. So it basically sits, it's got a little hump and then a little valley, and so you get all the influences from the ocean. The next one's called the Central Valley, obviously, and that's where wines start in Chile. And so that's the big areas. And then you have the Alta region, which is up the slopes of the Andes. And so there you've got cold and the elevation, acidity, just like you would in Rieslings and stuff in Germany. So it's really 3 different areas. And so the fun of this is when you look at your bottle, everybody's I'm gonna go first. Where's Allie?
Allie! You've been summoned.
Yeah.
Hello,
I'll let you
Allie.
go second, since you got the wine knowledge. So
I don't really want to wear it today.
it's just a quick brief overview. So I'm gonna go first. You'll know a little bit about Chile, and so this is why we're gonna do this way. Okay. So I brought a wine. Actually, Pam started with this. So there you go. There's a map we can put around. This is the oldest winery in Chile, and it's in the Maipo Valley in the Central Valley. Central Valley. And Maipo, though, is funny because it also goes across all 3 valleys. So they have an Alta Maipo, which is this side of the mountain, and they got a coastal Maipo, but this is the one in the center. So it's 90% Cab, 5% Merlot, and 5% Cognac.
So it's the cab.
It's cab. And you'll see that most of the grapes in that area are that way.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, that actually worked out really well because I also have MyPo, but I have Alto MyPo.
Oh, look at you, like mine.
This is Montgrass Hemsku. Again, like Doug said, so this is MyPo Alto, which is their higher elevation. So you're looking at around 4,500 in elevation. This is 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, aged in French oak, about 50% new French. And then second, I went to Colchagua, which is just kind of like if MyPo's up here inland, then you've got Colchagua down here, close, a little bit closer to the coastal. Carmenere. This is vintage Carmenere 2015, about 98% Carmenere, 2% Syrah, also aged a little bit of French oak. But this is a really cool wine. And if anyone is interested, I have a deal.
All right, who wants to be next? Come on.
The roast Bordeaux.
Easy for you to say.
Claudia's going to take it from
this is from the Cachapola MD Valley. It's a winery that's been around since 1936. Was purchased recently, like in 2006, I think, by a Portuguese company that's renowned for their wines as well. And isn't it 100% the Carmenere? I think it's 100%.
So just an FYI, I said when they first started the vineyards there, like in the 1500s, they got a lot of their stock from Bordeaux. So that's why you, yeah, that's it.
So this is Cabanero. Cabanero is from a famous vineyard in Chile, Vina Santa Rita. You heard that one, right? Oh. And anyway, this that was founded in 1880. The wine is 100% pure Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a single vineyard planted in 1964, dry farmed, ungrafted. Let's see, it's got a rich history. Who may like this? So this is who may like this wine. Is the customers looking for a more serious Cabernet profile with dark fruit and full body. In Chile, the Maipo Valley, is that how you say it?
Maipo, yeah.
Maipo Valley. And they say this is the steak wine. Even the nose had charcoal and grilled notes. Palate is plump and filled with soy and herb spices like oregano. Would be a people pleaser at any barbecue or steak dinner or with salmon.
In depth. Wanted to buy it for put his cars in. He sold it and made a profit and said, now he's building another one somewhere.
Cheers. That's pretty good.
Well,
Try that one. The middle one.
The white with the white.
so I'm trying to
This
figure out
one.
which
Maipo Valley.
Oh, sorry. That's good.
That's exactly what you need.
Like a robusta.
And that's the way he set it up.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not your typical cab.
It's pretty good. Reminds me of
It's getting heavier as the day goes along.
Since we had the remodels,
Reminds you of something.
something.
Some wines get better, fair better.
I added this Pinot Noir on the end.
Cheese over there.
It is good.
Yeah.
It's got like a robusta flavor in the beginning, but it's smooth. But it is definitely a cab.
Now my wife
Yeah.
salted a bunch of cherries and
Okay.
his wife.
We tried this one.
Real good, so.
That's Carmenere.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
We come for something.
Okay. Workroom, obviously, this is the winery part. Okay, so when we harvest, when we harvest, we have a whole bunch of bins like that. So everybody comes in, cup all the grapes. We weigh by style, so like by vintage or by the grape, and so like all our Cab, Tempranillo, we have Cab Franc, and then we have Mourvèdre. And so we'll weigh all the bins, we bring them in here, and then we'll put them in this machine. This replaced Lucy, so no more stomping grapes. So we take all the grapes, dump them in, and it separates. This is called a distemmer and crusher, so it does it both. Wow. There's some people that don't want the stem to be in contact with any of the juice, so they'll do a distemmer first and then they'll do the crush later. But that's expensive. I mean, it's an expensive proposition to do all that. So we go through it all at one time. Out one end comes the stem, and out the other end comes, in a big bin, we'll go in here in a second, comes all the juice and the grapes. Now, if I were to separate the grape skins from the juice at that time, the wine would be white. So just like a tea bag, the juice gets its colors from the skins. And so we actually have to go in during the fermentation process and do punch downs, so we can extract as much of that color as you can out of the skins. And it also extracts tannins, and it extracts flavors. And so there's a lot in that skin that you don't give the white wines, because they do separate that somewhat. Now, y'all heard of orange wines? They actually keep the skins in there just a little bit to get that little orange color. And it's supposed to give it a little more different flavor and stuff. But anyway, we go through this process, and I'm going to open the door just so you see it. We'll go in here in a second. You see this big vent, picking vent here? Yeah. So that's where all the grapes go. All right, and that's where we'll actually do our first fermentation. And actually, only fermentation. There's only one fermentation, and that's the whole process of fermentation. Is you add your yeast, the yeast eats the sugar and then produces alcohol. So anybody that tells you there's sugar in wine, there's not, because the yeast eats all the sugar and produces wine, or alcohol. Now, there are sweet wines, and you can stop that process. And so if you ever look at a bottle, it'll say residual sugar. And so what they've done is they started the fermentation process, then they add usually metabisulfate or something like that that'll stop that process and leave just a little bit of residual sugar. If you ever have read the book or understood Kendall Jackson Chardonnays, they're a little sweet. And the reason for that, his got stuck, they call it a stuck fermentation by accident, but everybody loves it, so now they do it on purpose. And so that little bit of sweetness is why you young ladies like a lot of kind of stuff.
Added sulfites to make it sweeter?
So, no, you add sulfite to stop the fermentation process, because it basically neutralizes the yeast. And so a lot of people will actually, right out of so in the wine industry, potassium metabisulfite is kind of like our antiseptic for everything. It keeps everything clean and gets all the germs or whatever is in that must. It clarifies all that. I don't like doing that up front, because then it could also stick the fermentation, right? And also, if you do a lot of the other things necessary to keep your vineyard clean, like we did, keeping things going, they're awesome. And when we do that, we fill the barrel up, and hopefully we have enough left to fill some of these bottles up, because there's a old adage in the wine barrel business about, because water escapes, wine will escape from the barrel through evaporation and all different processes, and they call it the angel share. So the angel comes and gets this share. But what happens is, as this goes down, then you have head space in here with oxygen, and that's what causes that vinegar stuff. So when we fill these bottles up, I use them as top-off wines.
Okay.
So every 30 days, I'll come in here and check where the bottle is, and I'll fill that all the way up to the top, so there's no error.
Very smart.
Yeah. So, and they have some elaborate systems that do that. They have one it looks like a curlicue beaker with a hole in it, and they fill it full of wine, and they know when it gets down, they got to refill that up.
Right.
So.
But you can just do it your way, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It works the same thing.
Exactly.
Same way.
So then, after this, now normally these tours aren't in the winter time, so I would say you slam this door when you get in, because this has to be kept chilled.
Yeah.
But it's cold out here.
Right? I know.
That's hard.
This is our barrel room. And we took our 80 gallons, I think we had like 77 gallons of wine, separating these into 230s, and then all those bottles down there are my top off wines. Okay, let me get this clean. I'll be right back. There's a pipette, but we're gonna call it a wine thief. That's its nickname. Everybody have a glass?
You say wine thief?
Because we're about to steal some wine.
Right?
Okay.
I already warned him. I was like, oh, this is strong wine.
It's what?
Strong wine.
Strong. Next.
What year is this one?
This will be, so every vintage is based on when the grapes are picked. So this was last year, so it'll be the 2023 vintage.
Okay. Ooh, real pretty.
Well, I already have some in mind, but you can add it to it. I don't care.
Thank you.
Anything else? No.
No?
You gotta try another one.
He's like, no.
Here.
You gotta have the full flavor.
Okay, I'll
Here.
try.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah, you won't be tasting my wine if you do that.
Right?
Thank you. Okay, now which wine did you want us to take home?
Whatever. Anything but that row over
Pam
there.
was saying, like, please take
Yeah.
bottles.
2019, 20, 21, and 22. All for the taking.
Okay. Well, which one do you like the best?
22 is really good. The 20s,
20 was just a tough year.
actually, no, 20 is actually pretty good.
COVID,
And
right?
it's- yeah.
That was a COVID year?
Yeah.
That was a COVID.
19,
all I think of.
19,
Yeah.
20.
I don't
So
remember
And
my
19.
favorite's
19.
22?
It's kind of your taste profile, because some people love the 19.
Yeah, we had the 19. We
Yeah.
opened it, and it was not bad.
Yeah. It's a little, the 22 is a little bit lighter, kind of like what you're drinking there. The 19 is going to have a little more full body to it. So what do y'all think?
Yeah. That's good. That's really good.
It's light.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's why you age.
It tastes like Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
It is grape juice.
Right?
It's
So-
young, but it's on its way.
Yeah.
Well, that's what, so when you're, obviously, the reason why you age is to give it, you're going to release tannins from the barrel. You're going to get some of the chemicals that go on to try to make things that gets darker in color. And then that process continues in the bottle. So aging doesn't stop just once we put it in the bottle.
Right.
We're still
But this
in the
does
bottle.
taste different than the year before. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
sweeter. So you must have had a good crop.
It's not so much that, it's the fact that it's so much younger.
Okay.
All right, and so some of those chemical processes hadn't completed its journey, and it made the age in the bottle for 5-6 years. So every wine has kind of an aging process where you get to a point and you're in the barrel and then you're in the bottle, and it gets a little bit better because of all the aging. But then at some point in time, it starts to degrade. And that steepness of how that degrades based on the structure that's in what you're drinking, what it started with.
Is there any way, besides just a lot of experience, to sort of know when you should really open a bottle where it's sort of peaking?
Experience is probably the best, but things like Cabs and Zins and Merlots, they have a lot of body, a lot of structure, a lot of tannins, a lot of pyrazines, a lot of things that allow it to be what they call a bold structured wine, and so they'll last longer. So that curve could be 60 years,
Oh, yeah.
right? Pinots are normally lighter. They don't have a lot of that structure. They don't have a lot of that. Now, the exception's Burgundy, but Burgundy treats their reds like Bordeaux does in the fact the way they process it, they age it, so they try to get all that in there. It's still a Pinot Noir grape, but you can really, if y'all want to do a fun wine tasting, go get a Burgundy, go get an Oregon Pinot, go get a California Pinot, go get a New Zealand, and as you go around that loop, they'll go from big, bold, and heavy to just not quite so much, but then you start getting a little lighter Pinots, and you go to New Zealand, they're really light. And it's just growing seasons, how they process, blah, 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 blah. So.
Do you still have someone helping you in the winemaking, or are you doing it yourself now?
Now, since 2018, I've done it all myself. I had a friend that was helping up 20...
Well, that was here before. This was the guy...
Dustin.
Dustin, yeah.
15, 16 to 17, he was helping, but we were actually using part of his facility, which was times 10, and they closed. So that's why I built the lab
I
next
heard
door.
that they had closed, and I wondered what that... That's a shame.
Yeah, it was.
Beautiful venue.